13th Age is kind of a story-focused fantasy role-playing game. It was written by Jonathan Tweet, who did Third Ed D&D. He was the lead designer on that, and Rob Painso, who was the lead designer on Fourth Ed D&D. So it's kind of like it's their best of the best, basically. It's their homebrew system. It's what they always wanted those two systems to be. A way in which it's quite different from D&D is it introduces a lot more story game elements to it. I mean, obviously, Jonathan Tweet's quite heavily influenced by that kind of narrativist style. So there are things like there's one unique thing. So you have to give your character a unique selling point, effectively, or something that defines him as distinct from the rest of the characters, and then that kind of ties into the overall plot and the background as well. The idea of the icons is that basically it gives the characters a way of connecting themselves into the setting, into the Dragon Empire. So you can establish positive, negative, or kind of conflicted relationships with up to 3 icons, and they're like very, very distant, super powerful kind of they're the most powerful NPCs in the world. But you won't necessarily always be connected directly to them. You know, you might have quite a kind of a low-level connection to a kind of a servitor or whatever of them. The icons have been left deliberately vague so that the GM has the power basically to define them however they want to. So they're almost more like powerers, really. They have individual names like the Archmage and the High Druid, and but they're left consciously and deliberately vague so that GMs can really make them their own and change the flavour of who they are in their own campaign. With combat, we've introduced an escalation die. So basically, the intent of that is to speed up combat. So at the start of round 1, you'll put a d6 on the table, turn the dice to 1, and everyone will get a +1 to their combat. And that the idea of the escalation die is that it escalates basically across the round. So round 2, you get +2 bonus. So it makes combat much faster and much quicker than it has been, I think, in previous versions of D&D. The idea is that it not be a crunchy kind of sitting there rolling forever and one combat taking up your entire game session. The idea is to get away from that. On the Pelgrane website, we've posted up some pictures of the book actually being printed by our printers in the US. So we're very, very excited. It's only a matter of weeks now before we can actually get it into people's hands, and it is beautiful. It is a stunning, stunning book. The artwork was done by Lee Moyer and Erin McConnell, and they have just done such a gorgeous job. Chris Huth did layout on it. Again, it's a visual thing of beauty. I think that 13th Age is basically Jonathan and Rob's kind of way of giving the fans what they secretly always wanted.